how to build an email list of 500 buyers, players with money, in the next 90 days in your business. Whether you're a freelancer, whether you're a copywriter, whether you're an insurance agent, jewelry store owner, whether you sell clothes, whether you're a tennis pro, whether you raise funds for charities like the Rotary Club or the Food Bank. I'm going to be teaching in February my Email Millions topic for this month is probably my most popular and most valuable. I haven't done it yet. How you can build an email list of 500 people. That's a pretty good list of buyers, players with money, like the late great Gary Halbert. You don't want freebie seekers. You don't want mooches. You don't want toxic people. What you want is to build a list of 500 buyers. Good morning. And do it in 90 days. It doesn't take 90 days, but that sounds good. So if you're struggling with building a list, like I started at zero with all my different businesses. Like I knew email marketing was important. So in the insurance business, when email saved my bacon, saved me from bankruptcy, saved me from being the laughing stock of my small community, one of the things was I started with an email list of 200. We had sporadically 200 emails out of 2,000 people at the agency. So certainly wasn't anything I did, but at least I started with 200. And when I sent that first accidental drunken email, that 9-word email that saved, I wouldn't have been in the insurance business. I would have reneged on that $30,000 nut that I had to pay my dad in a couple of weeks. But email saved my bacon. But I started with 200. And then I grew it to 1,000, and then I eventually grew it to 5,000. And when I was done, it took 17 years. I had an email list of 62,000 buyers at McLean Insurance, and I turned around and I sold that list of 62,000 emails to the company that bought my agency for 500 grand. And I don't even know if they've ever used it since, but that was $500,000. That bought me an office complex before the lockdowns and restrictions. So that's the power of having an email list. Now, if you have an email list of buyers, which I'll show you on this training, an email is worth $4, okay, per month. So if you have an email list, let's say you have an email list of 100 people. Well, that email list, if you consistently email it, I don't care what business you're in, okay, that email list, if you're no good at this, like I wasn't very good, I was no good at the start, it's worth $4 an email per month. So an email list, stay with me here, you have 100 buyers, not freebies, not moochers. That's $400 a month. You should net or close to it from a list of like 100 people. It can be a lot more than that. But I'm just saying if you're no good at it like I was. So can you imagine if you get a list, if you get a list of 500 people over the next 90 days, if you're in retail or you're a consultant or you sell books, whatever it is, a list of 500 times $4 a month for each person, that's like, whoa, I'm now at $2,000 a month if I'm no good. So every month, that's like a side hustle, $2,000 into your righteous pockets. So you can see where all of a sudden, $24,000, $25,000 by sending simple caveman emails. I mean, you don't have to know anything about tech. I mean, I'm a tech dinosaur. Everybody laughs at me. I don't even know how to use Berserker Mail. I don't even know how to send an email. Mark does that for me. So if you can, I'm going to show you on the training in February how to build a list of 500 buyers, players with money, over the next 90 days. And that'll be a list that can feed you to literally the day you die. You may want to sell the list like I've done before, you may not, but just at 500, you're making yourself $2,000 a month if you stink, if you're no good at it. Now, if you sell high-end products like watches and jewelry and big insurance policies and, you know, high-priced coaching programs or whatever it is you sell, I don't give a shit if you make candles. I don't care if you, whatever it is, nothing beats email, nothing. It's the queen, the king, and the whole shebang. And mail is number 2, but email for return on investment is number 1. So that's what I'm doing this month with Email Millions. If you're not a member of that brotherhood and sisterhood, you need your head read. Are you kidding me? In 2024, I can help you build a list gradually, 100 people, then 200, then 500. I'll show you the landing pages to use. I'll show you the emails. But here's the thing about Email Millions, and there's 3 levels. There's Cupcake, $147 a month this month. Then there's 3, it's like 300, and then there's something like that, 400 or 500, I don't even know. And here's the thing about Email Millions. I write the emails for you. All you have to do is personalize them. You don't have to do anything else. So at the lowest level, which is $147 for just this month, I've increased that price to $247. So at the level where I write an email for you every month, every week, 52 emails a year, it's $147 this month. You can't lose. So you send 4 emails that I wrote. Okay, I know a thing or two about emails. I've sold $153 million and counting of products and services in every imaginable industry you can imagine. Hockey, yep. Sports, yep. Franchising, yep. Barbershop, yep. Insurance, yep. Life insurance, yep. Charity, yep. Children's lemonade stands, yep. Fitness, yep. Restaurant, yep. Window washing, yep. You name it. Your business isn't different. So how to build a list of 500 players with money in the next 90 days is what I'm revealing this coming February Email Millions training. If you're not subscribed, it's $147 a month for me to write 52 emails in the year. You're one dumb bunny. You know, we don't know what's happening with the economy. We don't know if we're going to go deeper into a recession. We don't know if we're going to eventually fall into a depression, what my parents lived through, were born into. We don't know any of that stuff. So, I mean, are you kidding me? It'd be nice to have a 500-person email where if there ever was a lockdown, wherever there was a restriction, if you couldn't travel or you wanted to retire from your main business, and you have this list of 500 buyers that you can sit down at the kitchen table and write an email once a week or twice a week, and it's your ATM machine. A list of 500 is your ATM machine. You want to travel the world? Take your ATM machine with you. You want to do a kitchen renovation? You got your ATM machine. You want to send your kids to college? Use your ATM machine. You want to buy a second home in Nevada? Use your ATM machine. I've been doing that now for 20 years. I get a big invoice, a big expense, something that wasn't expected. My email list saves my bacon. I don't touch my investments. I don't screw around with my savings. I just write some emails, shoot some videos, and I have you pay for it. That's what I've been doing now for 20 years. I send the bill to the herd, as the great Dan Kennedy says. So if this is any interest to you, this month is a special, $147 a month. I'll write an email for you every single week. The last email I wrote for somebody was 7 years ago. I was trying to figure out yesterday. I'm playing pickleball with my pal, and I'm like, why am I thinking about email? And then we're taking a break, and I'm like, when's the last email I wrote? Because I'm a clientless email copywriter. Other than the men and women in my email millions, I haven't written for a client in 7 years now. I figured it out. 7 years the last time I wrote for a client. I'm my only client. I write emails for my email millions people, and that's it. The rest of it I write for myself. I'm my own client now. So I'm a client-less email copywriter. So you might want to take this advice with a grain of salt, because the only writing I do for clients is those 4 emails that I'll write for you. But I will say that the last email I wrote was $4,000. It took me about 45 minutes. I don't know why, because I'm not that good, I guess. But it took me 45 minutes. It probably would take you 20. And I charged the guy $4,000. And admittedly, I kicked my ass to this day because there was no continuity. There was no 5% tail. And I didn't charge him enough to write it. And now I know why. Now I know why he walks around with that shit-eating grin all the time. Because that one email that I wrote him 7 years ago, he now uses it every 6 months in business, and it's literally made him 6 figures over and over again. So you might say, oh, $4,000, I can't write an email for $4,000. Well, you can write an email for $4,000 if it makes somebody else $100,000 every year. So I don't get any commission checks off it. I don't get any, continuity, and he gets to keep that email and use it till the day he's done in business. So that's why I don't do any freelancing anymore. You might wanna, I don't care, but that's the power of an email list. You get to 500 people and you're golden. You're golden. Every email you send, whether once a week or twice a week, just times it by 4 if you're no good. And when I got better at this in the insurance business, I was getting like $8 an email. Some months, $10. And I literally would write myself a new building. I would literally write myself a trip to Australia. I wrote my honeymoon. So Krista said, we'll get married. She goes, I want to go down under. And I'm like, okay, you want to go to Australia? That's like 32 hours of travel. We got to go down there. We're going to have to stay a month because, honest to God, crazy. So that's what we do. So I'm like, how much is this going to cost? And this is 12 years ago. And she's like, airfare, hotels, trips, the whole thing. She's like, this is $100,000. Well, after I picked myself up off the floor, $100,000 honeymoon, nobody helps us. It's not like we're getting money from family or something. I said, you know what? I'm going to make my ATM machine pay for this. And that's what I did. I did a speaking gig for Mel Emery down there and made $30,000 selling my old swipe file. 90 minutes on stage, and he cut me a check for $30,000. He took the other 30. And then I started sending emails to my McLean insurance list, extra ones, more than once a week, like 3 times a week, and it paid for the entire trip and more. So that's the power of having, the 8th wonder of the world working for you, which is email. It's the honey that brings in the money, like the great Matt Fury said. So I don't know what more I can say. That's the training. So if you're an Email Millions member, you need to be excited about the training that's coming up in February. How to build a list of 500 buyers in the next 90 days. If you have a list, like a big list, these principles are just going to make that big list better. Like if you have a list of 5,000 people, well, this training will help you make it exponential, right? It's a 5x, 10x training. It doesn't really matter what you have for how big your list is. Bocce ball, unbelievable. This is what I'm walking by. Bocce ball. There's always something on in this gated community. Pool, pickleball, basketball, bocce ball. So great. When my dad was here last year, my mom and dad kicked ass bocce ball. I didn't even know how to play until we researched it. So if you're late for the party, you can still sign up for Email Millions. The link is below. emailmillions.coach. emailmillions.coach. There's 3 levels. You can do the silver, the gold, the platinum, whatever you want. But the training will be in the next couple weeks. And the title of that training, again, how to build a email list of 500 buyers in the next 90 days. Man, oh man, I love email. So that's it for today. I'm going to talk about email a few more days because it's just such a powerful thing now in 2024 with the uncertainty of the economy, the uncertainty politically. I'm getting ready to put my house in order. My house is going to be order, and my number one marketing asset, my number one business asset is going to be my email list. My email list that can go with me anywhere, different countries, and it's my ATM machine. Emailmillions.coach for that next training coming up in February. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that can change yours. Be relentless.